Investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Hello, Namaskar. Welcome to another face-to-face. This time it's face-to-face global. This time we are going to talk to a trader who is going to teach us the art of doing momentum trading. Guys, face-to-face global has been a great piece for me because through this I have been able to meet up with a lot of quality traders who are doing international trading. And I'm surprised to see a lot of people are doing things similar to what we do in India. So as I say that there is a language of music which is there everywhere, there is a language of trading which is there everywhere. And the face-to-face, India, global, this whole synergy of learning from everyone is actually working fantastically for me. I hope you are also finding value in these interactions, and I hope you are making notes and you are working hard on creating an excellence for yourself in this market. So guys, I had a pleasure of recording this face-to-face with a friend, Michael, and you're going to love from him, especially the fact that he's so young, he's so smart, and he's so knowledgeable. You're going to love the learning from him. What's till the end? This video is all about him, and next video will be all about the strategy which he's following. He's going to take a lot of Indian stock examples also. So watch this in detail. Hello, Michael. Welcome to Face to Face.
Hi, Vivek. Nice to meet you. Nice to be here. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you as well. And let me wish you in advance, I hope you reach 100,000 Twitter followers by the time this video is released. So congratulations for...
Thank you very much.
It's a milestone. It gives a very good feeling that you are making sense and people want to follow you, isn't it?
It is. It's nice to see that it's all kind of been just grown on its own. I had very little to do with it. It just kind of kept going up on its own, and that's kind of very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So Michael, Twitter has been a great platform for us as a face-to-face series. Someone who hosts face-to-face series, I've been blessed with a lot of amazing people whom I was able to connect through Twitter and get some relevant knowledge about market investing trading. And you are one of the people I got across. So thanks to Mr. Musk that he is running the Twitter the way it should be done. And Michael, we want to know about you, your journey. You're a trader, you're an options trader, you're a momentum trader, and you use options also to trade. And we love this field of momentum plus options trading. So we have to learn a lot from you. But before that, a bit about you, your journey in market. Why are you doing this? When did you start? Everything we want to know about you. And then we get into the strategy which you deploy in market.
Sure. So my journey in the market starts just after the financial crash in 2008. I wasn't in the markets then, like everybody else. I'd be putting money to my 401k, but I really wasn't paying attention to stocks or the markets. But suddenly I had done very well in work, and I had a bunch of money to start putting into stocks, and I was making good money. And I'm like, okay, I started looking into the markets. I'm like, well, let me go out and buy some companies. Let me see. I'll buy Ford. I'll buy GM. I'll buy Starbucks. I'll buy some of the banks and this. And GM didn't work. That one disappeared off the face of the earth, and I was 100% loss on that one. And everything else though went way up, and I did really well on. I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. This is easy. You
Yeah.
never say things are easy. So I kept buying more stocks and investing, and then a friend of mine said, you should really get into options because they're leveraged. So, this is a couple of years, is probably looking around 2011 or so when I'm starting to really start getting into options. And I knew nothing about them. I'll be honest with you. I was like, oh, I'll put in a call. Okay, I'm just going to go buy some calls on Ford one day. And, they doubled. So I think I made, $2,500 in 2 days on it. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. I love this. This is like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I bought a company called Northrop Grumman, the defense contractor here in the United States, a big one. And I went on vacation and I had options, and I had no idea about decay. I had no idea about time, or I had no idea about earnings. So I'm sitting there on vacation. I'm up in Canada, and it's in the summer. And I guess they had reported earnings. And I looked down, and I had this $10,000 options that were now $25,000. And I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome. Then half an hour later, look, they were down to they were down to almost to zero. And then at the end of the day, they were back up at 10,000. That's when I sold it and realized, God bless you. I need to learn about this because obviously I had no idea what was going on, why it was driving so wild or what it was. So at that point, I finally started getting my head wrapped around. I need to learn about options. Started doing my own research, getting into it, following, taking courses, looking at people online who were trading options, and kind of like me, when we put stuff out there. What are they saying? What do they have to offer? And learning that they're a great tool, but they're not always right for the right occasion, or you have to learn how to use them the right way for that occasion. So fast forward a little bit, I'm making huge money trading options in the stock market, and then 2014, 15 come in, and the market changes character, and I just keep doing what I was doing, which was mostly buying large amounts of calls and keep holding them into everything, and I get my ass kicked. I mean, all the money I'd made, which was a couple hundred grand, I gave it all back in 1 year. And
Oh my
basically just
God.
give it all back, right? Because I didn't understand.
And
So,
surprisingly, you were only buyer of call. That means you were playing the entire bull market, right?
yep, it's playing entire bull market. And I'll be the first to tell you, I am not a great short. Some people are very good at shorting. For me, I generally have to look for an inverse ETF to play the short side. My mentality is it just works better. In my mentality, things are eventually going to go back up for the most part. So I
Okay.
don't like being short them. So that's part of why I don't trade puts very often. I use them
Uh-huh.
for protection, but not very often to the downside.
Hmm.
So then I changed my character. I learned. I sat there and I spent a lot of time looking at what I was doing and doing wrong and realizing that. And that's when I really started to learn how to trade. And I stopped working and started trading full time about 10 years ago. And, turned that into a nice little business here now where I run a trading room every day. People come in every morning. I do a video. We trade the US markets and talk about this is what I like today. We open the room at 9 or earlier for data and say these are the setups. And then during the day, we start looking for what's in play. So, every morning there's going to be analyst action or there's going to be news. Like Comcast this morning had the news that they're going to spin off their network assets, right? Their legacy cable and maybe TV assets there. So, that says, okay, that's momentum. There's something to trade there. And then there's volume in the names, but also option flow. And option flow is so key. I mean, options will tell you what's in play because they'll tell you where everybody's running and trying to get into that day.
Right.
And if you want to trade momentum, that's going to tell it. And then also the elections come into play, right? I mean, with this election trade, Bitcoin has been just this incredible monster move here. And it's where all the momentum is right now. And it's just finding that and learning how to keep people focused on those areas and to try to ignore the noise. And you know, for me, one of the hardest things I had to do was learn how to ignore the noise because it was so easy to get caught up in, oh, look, this name is moving over here. Well, if you don't really know that name too well or anything about it, why do you want to be trading it, right? And for me, the hardest thing that took me a long time to realize was it's okay to do nothing.
Yeah,
Even though this is my livelihood, it's okay to sit there and not do anything and to wait because, forcing trades when you don't know what's there, it just makes the situation worse.
absolutely. This is so amazing. I mean, in this short 5 minutes of interaction, you have already given us important nudges of wisdoms. Uh, when we talk about momentum, and you said that every morning you have these live room and where you're talking about today's setup. So, are you predominantly looking at shorter term momentum, or you are okay to ride the momentum for a couple of months?
I I will do both. So I will for day trading, and I do a lot of day trading. I'm looking for momentum during the day, and it could
Okay.
be as short as 5 minutes or 15 minutes. I'm looking for a stock that has momentum, and then looking for key levels of resistance that if it comes into that, that's where I'm either going to get out or if it breaks out, that's when I get back into it again, right? So
Okay.
I'll watch that during the day, but I'll use it on the monthly basis as well or months. Like I've been sitting in Amazon now for a couple months and trade, and I love that. In fact, I sold half of it a couple days ago up around 210, and I held the other half, and I'm actually considering buying it back here down around 200 because I still feel that Amazon's not close to being done in this market. I don't feel the US bull market is over at this point. I think we're in a little bit of a pause here, which, by the way, funny, we tend to get that around Thanksgiving. People tend to forget that the Bears tend to own Thanksgiving and the Bulls tend to own Christmas, but we'll see. So yeah, I do a lot of both, right? In my large account, I do vesting, I buy stocks. I do some options there, but mostly I do options and in my day trading account.
Okay. And
because they are a decaying asset, right? And you have to be monitoring them. And in my long-term account, I don't like to have to be sitting in there all day long. I kind of leave that as a separate thing and not worrying about it unless I see something that scares me in the market.
okay. And the options, are you still the buyer or now you have transformed yourself from a buyer to a seller?
I'll do both.
Okay.
I will do both. I tend to, I would say 80% of my trades though are to the long side.
Okay.
Honest answer. But
Okay.
I did short Tesla the other day. I really thought about shorting MSTR, MicroStrategy, last night on that last big push in the afternoon. But I'm like, no, don't get in front of a freight train.
Okay. That's interesting. The setup which you have, which we will discuss in the next video, which we will release tomorrow at 5 p.m. The setup which you have, is it the same setup which you use for intraday and for longer tenure, or you have improvised the setup which helps you to carry the position for a longer time frame?
So, what I like to look at when I'm trading live is I like to look at a daily chart next to a couple of short-term charts, a 5-minute chart and a 1-minute chart, and sometimes a 15 or a 30. For the intraday stuff, those lower level time frames are so important. But that daily chart shows me where the resistance or support levels or places to watch out for it. Uh, so I use mostly the same indicators and same setups on those charts. So for me, I'm a big fan of the moving averages. I like the 8 and the 21-day moving averages for momentum, and then the 50, 100, and 200 days for strategic locations for a long term on the stock. But they also work intraday. So you'll find them on my 1 and 5 and 15-minute charts as well, because even though intraday, you know, algos are all programmed kind of the same way and they all kind of go after that same information and say, okay, I'm here at this spot. So yeah, they're all kind of similar.
Amazing. They say that music is a universal language and everyone just loves that language and it's easier to communicate with each other with music. I think trading is also such a universal language. All these 21 moving average, 50, 100. It's like, we are talking in our language because we so much understand these languages. So great. I mean, amazing. Good to know you. Just out of curiosity, Michael, apart from trading, what's the other passion you have?
So for me, well, I got a new little puppy in my life for the last 2 years. His name's Duke, and he's keeping me really busy. But I love to cook and eat. So I always joke I exercise so I can eat more. So I can go out and cook and eat good meals. Big snowboarder. Love getting out on the snow. So you'll find me out there. And yeah, in the summer you'll find me out hiking around and walking around all over the place. So I keep myself busy that way, and of course I love to play video games. I mean, that just seems to be kind of the core for everybody these days. It's a great way after a long day sometimes to just unwind when you're just frustrated with the market and just blow things up. It just kind of makes you feel better.
Wow. So, again, a follow-on question out of that is, do you think having those extracurricular activities around you, be it some kind of a sports or a game or anything which keeps you busy, adds value to your trading journey?
I think you have to find ways to unwind from the market. And
Okay.
the one mistake I see is so many people. I have people that on Twitter who I'm not even a member. My members all have all learned over time to like disconnect from the market, but they'll be messaging me and tagging me on financial stuff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm like, detach. We all need to detach from this stuff. So, typically I like to Saturdays, I like to, once Friday closes at 4 o'clock, my head's done with the markets. I'll do charts on Sunday morning and then, I'm done. And I just try to keep, and then Sunday morning I'll also look and see any news I need to know. And then I'm done till Monday morning. And it's this idea that everybody thinks they need to be 24/7 in the markets and ready to go. And for me, it's like, no, you need to detach, you need to relax, you need to unwind, you need to let your head kind of clear the space. And it's never good to be 24/7 into the same thing all the time. It's just going to become your world, and the market's not going to go anywhere. I always say this, the market will be there tomorrow. Take a day off, go out and have some fun. You'll see me, especially in the summer, take half day Fridays all the time. My members always joke the market's going to go straight up through the roof because whenever Mike leaves, the market goes up. And, I'm like, yeah, good. I hope you guys make a ton of money. But me, I'm going to go out and have a good time here.
Lovely, lovely. Such an amazing thoughts you have. So clarity. I'm really looking forward to the next video where I'll get to know your strategies and how you actually trade in market to make money. So looking
Thank you.
forward to the next video. Thank you, friends, for this video. Now you have to join me again in next video, which is on Friday, 5 p.m. All right, see you guys.